Getting old blows. How many of you remember when you were younger, let's say 9 or 10, and you couldn't wait to be a teenager? Teenagers seem to have it all figured out. They were a little bit more physically developed. They talked about cool stuff. I personally couldn't wait. And then it happened. The next big age was 16. I was ready for my driver's license. I was sick and tired of having my mom drive myself and my girlfriend to the movies, or my buddies and I to the mall. I was ready to be the big man and get behind the wheel. And then there was the infamous 21st birthday. I spent probably every weekend from 18 through 21 going out to bars in college with the risk of having my fake ID confiscated. I was ready to go to the bar and get wasted on my own merit. And then it happened. Well, I turned 31 about a month ago. And all of a sudden it was like, hold on, wait a minute, what? What is the rush? What are all these years leading up to? Now, I'll admit, I confess, I have lived life to the fullest. At every level of life, I have not held back. If I could rewind time and change anything, I'd do it all the same. And one thing that's helped me to live life so lively is I've always managed to surround myself by people, friends, who are much more older than me. Now, the benefit of this is, as human beings, we may have different interests, different personalities, but we all follow a similar behavioral pattern throughout life. So having older friends has allowed me to glimpse into the future. It's allowed me to visualize some of the things that are going to happen along the way. Some good, some bad. Now, some of my friends make excellent decisions. When I see them do things amazing, I take a mental note. And I say, when I get to that point in life, I hope I make the decision the way they did, if not better. Now, on the other hand, some of my friends fail epically. And I can say, all right, when that point comes in my life, I will make sure I handle it different than the way they handle it. Now, I've followed this pattern from as long as I can remember until today. And an example of a present-day situation is my friend Bruce, who unfortunately isn't here tonight. But Bruce and I have been friends for 4 years now. And I'm honored to say Bruce is one of my best friends. And about a year ago, Bruce said to me very randomly, Brian, I don't know what you do with your money, but make sure you save. You are always going to have bills, and like it or not, you are always going to be, to some degree, in debt. Pay yourself first, because at the end of the day, you are the most important person in your life. And I cherish that advice. And I incorporate that advice into my life on a day-to-day basis. Now, on the other hand, Bruce, as well as other friends of mine, who are married with wives and kids, and as much as they love their wives or husbands and kids, I have taken the mental note that it's probably not the best time for me right now to be focusing on a wife and kids. Being single is not that bad. Well, lately, some of my friends, and I say my friends who are 55 and up, have began to focus on something a little bit different. An example of that would be the seriousness of life insurance. Possible burial plots. Things that tend to revolve around death. Now, these aren't things that have to be resolved today or tomorrow, but they're things that are looked at much more seriously today than they were, let's say, 10 years ago. And just as I've lived vicariously through my friends and their past experiences, this experience and this emotion is something that tends to trickle down also. So here I am at 31, thinking way too deep, way too soon about death. Well, I spoke to my mother the other day, about a month ago actually, and history on me and my mom's relationship is we have a great relationship, but we don't talk as often as we probably should. I would say 7 to 8 times a year. Usually it's holidays, birthdays, things of that nature. Well, this particular conversation took place on my birthday. And within that conversation, I said to my mom, you know what, Mom? I'm getting old. And she came right back at me with, you know what, Brian? I'm getting old too. Normally, that remark would have went in one ear, out the other, we would have laughed. But me being in this somewhat dark place, with death being right on the front of my mind, it struck a nerve. Now, I haven't lived at home since I was 18 years old. And I haven't been around to witness my mother's aging process. In every conversation I've had, practically every conversation I've had with my mother since I've left home, she's always managed to say one thing. Regardless what happens to you in the world, know that you can always come back home. Never forget you have a home. And with the risk I've taken in life, and the chances I've taken in life, that remark has always led or given me security. But for the first time ever, I realized that one day, this home is not going to be there. And as we get older, and the days go by faster, the